Oh, Tom Smith, here we are, another edition of Mortgages and BS on the Alive and Social Network. How are you, brother?
I'm doing fantastic. You know, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, we're in sunny South Minneapolis. It is sunny out there,
Well,
right?
kind of overcast, cloudy, but all the same. I'm with you. It's summertime.
In the luscious Alive and Social Network studio.
Luscious? Well, I don't know if I'd use that descriptor, but it's comfortable.
Having a refreshment.
Well, see, now you're hitting the nail on the head because there's another Live and Social Network Southside Sessions going on this evening.
Exactly.
The wonderful Tina Schlieski of Tina and the B-Side Movement from back in the day, and her Lola and the Red Hots with her sister Laura and all the different projects that she's done over the years. And so there's an abundance of beverages for us to grab on and latch on to.
And food.
And food as well. Were we to be hungry, but it's just a thirst thing generally for Tom Smith and yours truly, BT. So the latching on to the beverage world is doing just fine.
And it is a good day for it. I'm looking forward. We're going to hang for a while. We'll do a little jamming.
Indeed we shall. You think Tina's going to get you up there and have you do some backing vocals, perhaps?
Have you ever heard me sing? You probably know the answer to that
I guess, you're just going to be the roadie today.
I can do a good roadie.
Or the garagey, as the case would be. There's
That's
not a
true,
whole lot of road
yeah.
between the stage and where her instrument will be. You'll be the garagey.
You know, and I'm more than willing to, sing and make her sound even better.
Well, see that comparison thing. Yeah, that could work out indeed. Fans of the show know that it's called Mortgages and BS, but truly it should be called BS and Mortgages because we kind of begin with chat and conversation and what's going on in the world. And if we have a guest, we invite him into the fold right away. And it's actor and Realtor. Yes, those two words go together. Thespian and Realtor. Robert Berdahl. Good to have you here, Rob.
Nice to be here.
Pleasure to see you, man.
I was already picking on him. I said, aren't realtors all actors to begin with? I don't know.
I think there is a whole lot of acting in the realty world. Sure.
Yeah, there is. Even some of the lingo is the same, like staging, staging a house, staging theater.
You stage a theater stage. Yeah. Sure you do. Sure you do. Yeah, and I imagine you put on kind of a role whenever you're dealing with a client. I mean, you'd want to be genuine. You want to be yourself. But
everybody does. All the world's a stage.
Yeah.
We all put on roles, don't we?
Absolutely.
We're different to different people.
Yeah.
You don't dress up, though, do you?
I do dress up in my realtor outfit, yeah.
Oh, okay. Not like a wig or anything like that.
Not a wig or makeup or fake beard.
I'm just wondering. I mean, people do different things, and it is
if it would
sales.
sell houses, I would do it. Let me put it that way.
Because I'm curious what a realtor outfit is. Because Tom is a mortgage guy here and a mortgage expert. I mean, it's a lot of computer work and phone work, and he's wearing a really delightful Hawaiian shirt
All right.
here today.
I normally don't dress like this.
I'm sort of a radio guy and a media guy where I do a lot of things behind the stage and no cameras involved. And then when I dress for TV, like I did a TPT pledge just the other night with the State Fair stories, you put the suit coat on. And you're right, Tom. You do wear the khakis and more of the business casual shirt.
And I dress for the show.
But you could wear that to work, I think, depending on the clients that you had coming in. Or if you had any clients coming in at all, you could do that.
I wear plain colored Tommy Bahama once in a while at work. I would never wear this one. And I was thinking to myself, with the show tonight, going on, last time I had on khakis and a shirt, and I felt I was dying out there. Remember that?
But you look like the straightest white guy that had ever visited
So I thought,
South
okay,
Minneapolis.
I'm going to be a little more casual today so that if it is warm, I don't feel like I want to rip my clothes off and jump on the ice.
Yeah,
okay?
There you go.
And that would be an ugly sight, too.
But let's go turn it back to where I began this conversation. So, Robert, what is your realtor costume? Do you do more the tie thing, or do you present yourself in your realty world as sort of the sport coat casual realty guy?
I'm going more
there's
casual.
images that you put out there.
Yeah. I'm going more casual lately because I think it's more approachable. Less often do I use a tie or suit or anything like that, except for maybe closings.
Okay,
but
a little more formal typesetting.
You dine a realty name tag?
No.
Okay, just wondering.
Yeah.
I think realtors have a tendency these days to wear name tags more than they used to, and I think they do it for a couple of reasons. One is brand recognition,
right,
and so they don't forget their name.
So they themselves
don't. Is that why I've seen so many of them printed upside down?
Exactly.
So they could just look right down and remember who they are. Well, there we go. That's nice. Yeah. I think you're hitting the nail on the head, though, in this sort of era of home buying and maybe the potential customers that are out there, they still want to see a professional image. So you're not going to show up with a shabby sport coat, but it's going to be more of a sport coat and maybe a dressy T-shirt sort of look. I guess Don Johnson, Miami.
They call it
the colors,
business
but the Miami
casual.
Business casual with the Miami Vice sort of nice slacks.
I don't know about that, but I do like a button-up shirt with the sleeves rolled up, so it looks like I'm working.
There you go. That's what it looks like. He is an actor.
but
the appearance of.
But not like the Don Johnson look with a sport coat and a T-shirt.
I got you.
It's a little too hip for me, I think.
Yeah. He doesn't work down by Lake Calhoun. He's up in Maple Grove.
Well,
right.
And I wasn't
I
implying
work all
that,
over, actually.
I wasn't implying like a purple T-shirt with one of those periwinkle sport coats either. Like Don used to wear. Those colors were a little flamingo-like and blazing.
Right.
Back in the old days, realtors actually used to wear suits.
Yeah.
I mean, like the three-piece thing. Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
they
the
wore
button
suits
down deal, man.
And the women realtors all wore suits too. I mean, they had their business type suits with the skirts and jackets and stuff. And then somewhere along the way, everybody just started casualing out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think the military, because women were included more and more in the military early on than other professional cadres. I got to say that I think the realty world, would you agree? Because you've been doing this for 30 years as a mortgage guy, that, there was a lot of, in terms of percentages of how many women were in a group or in a professional career field, it seems to me when I was a kid that there were a lot more women that did that compared to, other career paths, carpenters or, cement mixers or than professional things too. It just seemed like there were always a lot of women in the field. And that's cool. I'm thinking that's cool.
And I think part of that was society back then. Had different views on things and where people should be and jobs they took, and I think that's part of it. And over time, society has accepted different things, but you still see a lot of women in real estate, and what you see is a lot of moms doing some part-time work, and you see a lot of retired men and women both now doing it as a supplement for income or something like that. But it's still, realistically, it's the same as it was years ago. It's a sales business.
Right.
And what happens
a relationship
is
sales
it's
business.
a huge relationship. Let's face it. You think back, you get a mom, she's got her kids, they're in all these different organizations, they're doing this, they're doing that. They've got connections.
Right.
All they got to do is work their connections.
Yep, and hear that, hey, we're thinking of moving or this or that. I'm throwing praise at the realty world because I think they led the charge in terms of having a lot of professional women being able to further their career earlier on in our American course of history than a lot of other career fields, I think, that are out there. That in the acting world. Because certainly, on stage, we can't argue that women and men have, maybe not on the salary level, and we're still seeing that as a problem, from a Hollywood perspective or this or that. Certainly,
I guess in Hollywood, but I still think there's a lot more roles for men than there are for women.
And there are written more for men, but I guess the balance of the way people behave in their hearts, it's strongly female as much as strongly male.
Now, have you when you're acting? Now that you're a realtor, and there's the everything's set up there, and you're walking through, and the scenery and stuff. Do you ever go, now this house would never sell? You know how you have the backgrounds and stuff of houses and stuff?
Right.
You critique them at all?
Right, yeah.
I'm going to market this at $219.
Can we hold for a minute here? Could I just restage this house?
I know it's arsenic and old lace, but the entrance to the basement really doesn't work, We're going to have to redo this.
Yeah. No. It depends on, what the play is about, obviously. So,
does the converse hold true? And by that I mean, do you pick up little tips about staging from the theater world that you apply to, or at least maybe encourage the owner to apply to their house to make it stage better?
Maybe. I guess there's no real direct correlation there.
Okay.
But I think it's just more a sense of flow that you have in a set that's on stage. You have to have a certain flow to the set. And the same thing, I think, for staging a home. It's got to have a good flow through it with very simple things, just like, take down personal photos and you want the buyer to picture themselves in the home.
Sure.
I think quite often the best home to sell is an empty home because then the buyer's picturing themselves in it. But it just depends on the buyer.
I would imagine you've moved a little bit of furniture around, though, when you're talking about flow. Just let's do this, and I think it'll work better for when people come in and look at this home and potentially see themselves in it.
Yeah, I just sold a home over West St. Paul that was just gorgeous townhome that I didn't really have to do very much to it at all because these people had it immaculate.
Nice.
And it sold in a day.
And they had an eye for that sort of flow and staging thing already, it sounds like. Yeah.
Well, I think the depersonalization thing is a big deal, too, because I know when we sold our last house, a good friend of mine who's a realtor came in and he says, you need to get rid of this, and you get rid of this. So I ended up with one of those, portable deals out in my front yard with everything stored into it.
Yeah.
Because he made me depersonalize it so much. Mm-hmm. And then I also ended up replacing carpet and painting and all that stuff. Because
It makes
I mean,
a big difference.
Yeah, you do want to sell it. I mean, there are people that are going to buy a house the way it is and just do what they want with it. Mm-hmm. Let's face it, if you want to sell the house, let's have it look like it's going to sell and make sure it's going to sell quick.
Yeah, otherwise you're relying on the buyer's imagination to imagine that carpet out of there and their own in there, or to imagine things, done to it that you haven't done already.
But that's where the butt loan comes into play.
The what loan?
The butt loan. You've never heard us? Okay.
That's what I thought you said.
Yes, he did.
Have you ever had a buyer go, I like this home, but...
Okay. That kind of butt loan.
Okay. I like this home, but the appliances are outdated. I like this home, but it needs different carpeting. I like this home, but an FHA 203K. Just telling you, I call it the butt loan.
It's the butt loan because it takes care of those expenses. Then is that what that does? Exactly. It makes complete sense.
See, I threw them for her.
I like it.
Through all you guys.
It's a good one indeed. Robert, when did this whole adventure begin for you? Combining the world of acting and an active acting career, and being a realtor. I mean, and now on an outsider's perspective looking in, it seems to make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it really makes a lot of sense.
Well, it really began for me back in 1996 when I first bought my first property, which was a fourplex. I had one of the apartments and rented out the other three.
And where was this? In
this
South
was
Minneapolis,
right by
North Minneapolis?
Lake and Lyndale, just off Lake and Lyndale, behind where that Vietnamese restaurant is. I don't know if it's there anymore.
Okay.
Great place. So I sort of got on the investment side then and became a landlord, and then I bought some other properties since then. And about 3 years ago or so, I got my license to be a realtor, to be on the other side of the table, because I enjoyed it a lot, and I enjoy houses. I enjoy looking at houses, and it's been so it's been great so far. I thought, as I get older in my career as an actor, there's going to be less and less roles for me out there, and I need to find something that I'm interested in.
Wait, this is the part where I'm supposed to go,
No, it's...
How dare you talk like that about Rob Berdahl?
It's true.
I mean, look how many actors started at a later age in life to begin with. Come on.
Yeah, well...
But that's strategic planning. That's
just
good
get a little
stuff.
nervous.
Yes, you can't play the 14-year-old anymore, but...
Yeah.
It's sounding like your mom's, sort of hovering over your shoulder. Robert, you've always got to have something to fall back on.
Make sure your underwear's clean.
Yeah.
But that makes a lot of sense that that you do have something that you enjoy
I enjoy it quite a bit,
continue
actually.
another aspect of your professional career.
It's a lot of fun, and it fits really well with my acting career.
Yeah,
as
see,
well.
that's the part that I was impressed with. As I read a little bit about how long you've been doing this and how it sort of balances out against the shows you're doing. It seems to dovetail because a lot of that realty work, whether it's the office work or the seminars that you want to keep up on to keep up on your profession, those are going to be more daytime things, and of course you're going to do some showings at night and what have you. But most of the shows you're doing are at night, so it really works together. Long days some days, but it sure dovetails. I think.
Yeah,
nicely.
I haven't really had an issue yet, and if I do, I always have my broker or other agents that I can have fill in for me for a time that I can't be there.
Sure.
But I haven't really had to do that yet. So.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, I would think the flexibility of the schedule, because you can kind of work. I shouldn't say you can work your own hours, but you can at least plan your time based around your other job that you have with the acting part, and make it so it works out. Or like you said, get somebody to do a showing for you or hold it open for you if you can't do it. I mean, to myself, it's also going to be nice, I think, too, as you're phasing a little bit out of the acting. You want to put more into it, as you're talking about, like, a replacement income or something like that. You're going to have the ability to have more time down the road, or do well with the same amount of time because you've built the relationships.
Yeah. It works really well. I find sometimes I'm going to the office after the shows, a handful of times, so that makes for a long day. But it's still.
But that's quiet time. You can
it's
get some
really
of that.
Quiet time,
you
which
can
is
get some of
nice.
that paperwork or just processing stuff done.
I get to know the cleaning crew, and it's.
But I can understand that because you're still adrenalized after a show. I mean, you're up, and so why not? You're going to go home and maybe just be up anyhow.
Yeah, you can't go to sleep right away after a show.
So go and get a little work done at the office, and then feel good about ramping into the next day, or lighten up the load for the next day, so that you and your son Vincent can go see a Twins ball game or something.
Yeah, we were just last week. Actually, Vincent couldn't make the ball game last week, but we sang the barbershop quartet from the Music Man sang at the Twins game.
Isn't that cool.
That'd be cool.
Did you do the anthem then, or was it other stuff?
We sang at the seventh inning stretch, God Bless America, a special arrangement from our music director.
Oh, wasn't that cool?
Yeah.
That the music director at the Guthrie put together for you
Andrew
then?
Cook did. Yeah. Yeah, it was great.
Nice. Did you show up with the costumes and the handlebar mustache? Or no?
Oh, come on.
No, they wouldn't let us do that. The costumes can't leave the theater.
Oh,
but
okay,
they gave us the bowler hats, though.
So you could do that,
We
yeah.
looked barbershop-y.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Barbershop-y, yeah.
No, you got to have the mustache. You got to have the mustache.
Yeah, I like that mustache.
Are you
actually.
so obviously you're doing the glue it on mustache? For the show.
Yeah, I didn't think the handlebar mustache would look so well for my my realty side of life.
Well, if you threw on a bow tie, I wouldn't look that bad.
But you have to have had some roles, I'm guessing, where you've had to explain some of maybe the way the hair
Yeah.
looks or the facial hair or something. I
More
would
the
think.
hair than I've tried to stay away from the facial hair.
Okay.
But there's been times where the worst haircuts because I've had to wear a wig in a show, but some of the hair will peek out underneath the wig, and they want to
Okay.
use that hair. So it's the worst mullet you'd ever.
Oh, I
think
see what
of.
you're saying,
So it's
sure.
short on top and it's longer on
Hardy
the bottom.
in the
so
back.
It just looks horrible.
Have you ever then gone to a showing or met with a client and just put your damn wig on? Tuck it all up. And it's like,
No.
this is better than what I got here now.
No.
I want to see you show up at a showing dressed in one of your outfits from the show.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me do that.
Again,
It'd be funny.
dang it, the costumes can't
Yeah.
leave the theater.
Pretty
But-
strict about that.
Yeah. But, if you were I can see a scene like out of a movie. He's running late. This is one of the best closings he could ever have. And it just interfered with the show at the Guthrie. And then you're running in slow motion. But you're all costumed out.
And I'm thinking to myself in between scenes when he's jumping in the back, he's checking his phone to see if he's got any messages. Hold on, I got to take this call. Hold the show.
Oh, that's a really good question.
There's a lot
Yeah,
of business I do
yeah.
at the theater, actually.
Sure.
I bring my computer with me to the theater and
Yeah.
my dressing room in between scenes. I'm doing a lot of business, actually.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
Sure. Before and after or between scenes when you don't have to be out there. 'Cause
Yeah, usually not during the scene when I'm out there.
Well,
we've heard complaints lately in the theater world of audience members on their
Right.
cell phones too much, but no actual
Yeah.
actors.
Well, I think
especially in the anachronistic world of Iowa, circa what?
Right.
What's the year?
1912.
1912.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the
I
music
think as
band.
long as the volume's off, he's okay. I don't know. Of course, there'll be a blinking light off the side, but
Yeah.
Before we do good night, ladies, can
Right.
I just finish this text, please? Yeah,
Light a
great.
rose, I'm
Light a-
home again, a rose.
He must have forgot the lyrics. He's reading the lyrics on his cell phone there. This music, let's dive into this Music Man production
Yeah.
for a second or two here. Had you done this show? Have you done this show before?
I did it once way back in high school.
Okay.
And I played Marcellus Washburn back then, and Steve Zahn was actually Harold Hill.
How about that?
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. But so yeah, I've done it once before, but that was like
Did you and Steve graduate the same year at
Yeah,
Cooper
we
High
did.
School in the northwest suburbs?
We did indeed, and then we went to Gustavus together.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we
Okay.
were roommates that first year, and then he dropped out and went to ART the following year. So I stayed at Gustavus.
Yeah,
though.
and then you finished out your undergraduate stuff.
I
at
did, and then I went
Gustavus,
to
yeah?
Cal Arts for grad school.
Okay, yeah, and where in California is that? Is
Valencia.
it Valencia. Oh, that sounds like a good place to be and study and
Yeah.
be distracted a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were
Yeah, yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Now, you were saying before we started here earlier, I mean, you're doing a lot of stuff local. But you start talking about some TV, some commercials, things like that. I mean, how broad has your spectrum become? And is there stuff we've seen somewhere on TV or whatever that we wouldn't remember? I mean, I'm just looking out for the avid guy out there saying, okay, where have we seen him otherwise?
Well, you see me a lot at the Guthrie.
And I go there.
Yeah. I do. I just shot a commercial yesterday. What day is today? Thursday? Yeah, yesterday I shot a commercial, but it's a commercial that's going to be aired down in New Mexico, so you won't see it here.
But what was it for? What kind of role were you playing?
I played a doctor, and it was for some health thing. I don't remember.
Was it a spoken word?
I had one line.
One line? Okay.
Yeah.
Were you wearing the
It's
smock?
going to clear up.
Did you have a stethoscope dangling around the neck?
No, I didn't have that, but I had the white coat.
Yeah.
And I was doing. It was just a one shot with me, and there's someone else who's going to be doing the other. Someone else who came in that was a patient that had all these symptoms and thought she was dying or whatever. And
Yeah.
so they're just shooting me separate, so I didn't even meet the other person. But
And
I
the
think my
line was,
like,
"I'm surprised you've
she's
never
like-
learned you were a hermaphrodite." No, that wasn't it.
They didn't use that version.
They didn't use that one. All right.
No, but she said, like, how long do I have to live? And I said something like, well, I'll give you about 50 or 60 years. You got a cold, because she was like being
hypochondriac of
right.
sorts.
Right.
Yeah.
It sure was one of my kids. No.
You have that issue at the Smith family.
Yeah, and not to
moan
deviate,
alone said
but the
a lot.
worst thing now is you can Google everything. So if you Google a symptom,
it's
my God,
I know.
Doctors hate
Yeah.
the internet more than anything else.
Yeah.
You know what I read? I don't know. Let me tell you what I read, doctor. Oh, please. Here we go again.
Yeah.
Here we go. So you did the show once before. Is it a treat revisiting this great American musical? Because it's one of my faves. It's great writing. Meredith
such a great
Willson is
show.
just a fantastic writer. And
Yeah.
it's his town that he's writing about. And, of course, the legendary movie with Robert Preston and Shirley Jones.
And that's
is
what I
just a
think of.
great-
I
and
think of the
Buddy
movie,
Hackett.
and I think of him marching down the road.
Yeah,
and-
yeah. We have I think 60 people on stage at the end of the show because we have a big marching band that comes in. And I think it's the most actors that they've ever had on this stage.
On the stage for the Guthrie.
So it's a big ending, which is great. But yeah, it's a perfect show.
Hey, I'm doing the math here. I would think 60 is not enough because there's 76 trombones in the
I
song
know.
alone.
I was just thinking that in my head too. 76 drum.
Well, it's theater. You have to use your imagination.
There's more of them out, beyond, right? Yes.
And then what's the other one?
Adding
Easter
them,
Parade
yeah.
too. Yeah.
Indeed. I had on my radio show Shina Brashears join me on
yeah.
the show, and
She's
what a
great.
delightful young lady
yeah.
she is. Playing the mayor's daughter,
Yeah.
and I asked her right out of the gate as we were doing the show together. I said, "I got to hear the line. You got to give me the line. Ye gods."
Yeah,
It's just the classic there.
Yeah.
You did that pretty good.
I don't know if I could be the mayor's daughter, but I could.
Well,
coach. Maybe I could
I'm thinking
coach.
throw a wig on you, a little skirt.
It's already getting creepy when I'm talking about coaching the mayor's daughter. So please, let's move this conversation in another direction here. But yeah, she was wonderful, and it just looks like the whole cast is delightful and a really good crew to hang out with and be on stage with.
So do you have any idea what you're going to be doing after the Music Man yet? I mean, is there something come up that you're looking at already? Or?
Yeah, I'm doing a Christmas Carol. I'm playing, again, The Ghost of Jacob Marley. So
Nice.
I've done the show for, I don't know, maybe 7 years now or something. But
Okay.
I started doing the Jacob Marley track last year.
Okay.
So it's been a lot of fun scaring all the kids.
Yeah, that is a good one.
I've seen the Christmas Carol twice. I saw the one
Oh.
saw it back like in 1990.
Okay.
And then I took the kids probably 98, 99 to the Children's Theater for the version of it, which was totally different. And it did kind of get a little creepy for the kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought I did there. But
I didn't see that
I
version.
love that. I love the movie. I love the show. I love the premise of the whole thing. And Jacob Marley rocks.
Yeah.
I really think. I mean,
We should come see ours because they redid the script about maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I mean, because they used the same script for the last 30 years since then. But they hired a new writer to write a new script, and then it's good. It clips along, and it's
It really.
and my kids say I'm a Scrooge, so I could be an understudy too.
yeah.
It's like a really good edit of a long song that they edit for the radio, and by that I mean a good edit.
Yeah.
So that you really still get all of the feeling and emotion and the lyrical content of the song, but instead of being 6.5 minutes, it was like 4 minutes and 12. But it doesn't feel like it was
Right.
edited.
Right.
And that's the job that was done with the Christmas Carol story that you guys are working off of. It really it moves along briskly.
Yeah.
And doesn't feel like you lost anything at all. I thought it
Right.
was pretty cool.
And J.C. Cutler's
And I was just going to ask, is
amazing.
JC still in the lead role?
Yes, he
yeah.
is.
Oh, he is amazing.
And you've got families. I mean, they make it an annual thing to go see it.
Yeah, they do.
I mean,
Yeah.
every
Yeah,
year
that
they
whole
go.
trek, right?
Yep.
That's part of their part of their holiday adventures.
I watched Scrooged on VHS, but I should probably go watch this instead.
Yeah, indeed, you should. I had a walk-on role one year.
Yes, you did. That was
Yeah,
great.
It was what was that 5-6 years ago now?
I remember that, yeah.
we had fun with that. I mean,
Yeah.
it was just a gas and an honor to be a part of it. And I got to bring the turkey out
That's
at the
right.
party.
Yep.
And there was a little blocking involved in that. And then there was a freeze. We had to do a freeze.
And you did great.
I nailed my freeze. And then boom, we have to get back into action and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, it was really a ton of fun. No spoken word though. You know why? Because they were afraid I would mention hermaphrodite again.
Well, I'm still waiting to be on Beer Fest too. So
we did have Eric Stolhansky join us on the show from the Super Troopers and Broken Lizard Comedy Troupe with Super Troopers, Beer Fest, Club Dread. And so, yeah, Tom's trying to angle his way into, because Super Troopers 2 is being worked on, and Tom's trying to angle Eric into getting the Broken Lizard guys to truly work on Beer Fest 2.
yeah.
And then, hopefully find a place in,
I
in
could
something
I could
for
easily
Tom
do a
Smith.
supporting role in that.
Yeah, you could easily.
You know, and here's the funny thing too: is mortgage bankers are somewhat actors too.
Oh yeah.
So if ever you need, and I did do a mean Macbeth once.
Oh really?
8th grade, I played Macbeth.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Do you remember any of it?
How foul and fair a day I have not seen. That's the one line. Out, damn spot. After that, I can't remember much of it.
It sounded more like this. How foul and fair a day.
No, my voice was changing.
You
My voice was,
dropped?
yeah, it was
Okay.
almost this.
Right.
But
I take it back.
And I was into girls, and I had to wear tights.
Yes.
I remember as an 8th grade boy wearing tights. It was the most humiliating thing I could think of.
Don't look at my
But you know
bulge.
what? You know what? Though? Girls kind of liked it.
They kind of liked it. Yeah, the Renaissance-y sort of thing going on there. They kind of liked it.
We did the show a couple of years back at the Guthrie. I played Macduff in it, but we didn't wear tights.
Oh. Yeah. I think I like Shakespeare.
So you just wore them at home instead.
Yeah, but I think but I had the sword, the whole thing, so it's kind of cool.
I'm with you, Tommy. I'm a Shakespeare fan too, and so that tradition that's always been a part of the Guthrie is really a cool part of the narrative.
But the witches, I think the witches were so cool in Macbeth. I think the witches were so cool. I think I actually have a secret, wanting and desire to be an actor or a singer or something because, I do like karaoke, but like the song goes, I'm usually too drunk to karaoke. But there is something about it. I mean, it's fun. I mean, and you have to have a certain confidence. I mean, think about it. The confidence you have to be up in front of a stage, in front of, hundreds or thousands of people. It takes a lot because it's, it's unnerving. And so that confidence as a realtor, you've got confidence built right off the bat because you're only talking to one or two people.
Right. Yeah.
So
we should audition for something.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on, boy. Come on. Hey, I just thought of something here.
Yeah.
Potential opportunity for Robert Berdahl, Realtor.
What's that?
Well, Dowling's out because he's retiring and moving on to other things. Joseph Hodge is moving into town. He's going to need a house. The new artistic director is going to need a house. You got a little inside
and a
connection.
mortgage. I'm going to raise my hand
here. You I call you because we've known each other for a while. I call you Rob, but you're a Robert. However, he may be, Joe Dowling was a Joe. He's more of a Joseph. So, you guys got that. Robert, Joseph,
right,
Robert.
Yes.
Realtor, a thespian, director, artistic. And then see if the connection, you could make a little ching on the new guy.
Yeah, you have to work that. I don't know if he's found a place or not yet.
That's what I'm saying. Get in now. Talk to him now.
Yeah.
I saw a fun Facebook picture that he had posted. As he put it in the picture, with the boss of Twin Cities Theater. And it was with Jack Ruler from Mixed Blood Theater. And Jack is the boss. Jack is the best.
He is.
And he's a well-respected guy in the community, let alone the theater community, just in the community at large, too.
Yeah.
But that was so cool seeing Joseph put a little homage there to Jack on the big Facebook. That was very cool. And then we're hanging out at a Twins game, of course.
Yeah.
Even better yet.
Now, I have a question because I don't know the whole background.
Okay.
Were you ever in Joseph and the Amazing?
Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat?
Yep. Say that 10 times real fast.
Joseph and... No, I can't. No, I was not ever in that show.
I saw it. I just say because it's one of my favorite shows, actually. I saw it when Donnie was here, too, to do it.
Yeah. That is
so
a good
it was
show,
really
too.
good.
I like that show.
I mean, seriously, I like musicals. I like theater. I mean, we've seen Miss Saigon. I saw so many different shows. My wife and I at the Guthrie, the Orpheum State Theater, all that kind of stuff. And we really enjoy it. I think it gives you a chance. It's kind of like when you read a book. You can escape a little bit. As an audience member, you're sitting there, you're watching it, and you kind of just envision it. And if you can really get into it, you're envisioning the time and what's going on there and stuff like that. When you're an actor, do you really fall that far into it, even in a musical or play that's here locally? I mean, do you fall that far into it?
Oh, yeah, you have to. It's kind of your job. You mean to believe into the world of that's on stage?
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think theater, I think, happens between the audience and the actor. It's both the audience and the actor using their imaginations to have that space between them, create the show. Because we're obviously in a theater. We're not in 1912 Iowa, but we need your imagination to fill out what's not there.
And I think as I watch, I think some of them were kind of easier to do, but like Miss Saigon, I was thinking about that one. There were probably people in that play that don't even know what Saigon or Vietnam was. I mean, does the director and everybody kind of help you get that vibe a little bit, or do you do a little more research on your own like they do?
Oh yeah. We have usually for each show there's about a week's worth of table work, which is dramaturgy and just research and going through line by line and just figuring out what everything means and what the references are. I mean, for it's quite extensive.
And looking at those scene settings and figuring out what that means to the drama of the moment and where you are in time and space and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely. I love that part of it. I love the research part.
And my thought process here was, then going as a realtor, when you're looking at a house and stuff like that, you're probably sometimes looking a little bit further into it or deeper into it than maybe your average realtor would, which gives you an advantage when you're trying to list a house or sell a house.
Mm-hmm. Sure. I would hope that every realtor does that, but maybe they don't. But you like the history of the house, you mean?
Right, but you've got a different outlook, I think, when you're looking at it, because the way you look at roles and the time, you're looking at a house maybe a little differently and pointing out things that maybe an average person may not. I mean, I go into a house. I was in one a while back, and I looked up and it had vaulted ceilings. And what I do, I saw spider webs.
Yeah.
That's because I have vaulted ceilings and I have spider webs.
But you brought up a cool thing as it relates to the actor on stage and the audience there, and that space between, and how that energy is very palpable. You can feel that when the audience is engaged and when they're there in the moment with you. Yeah. And I imagine the same thing does happen though when you have a potential client, or maybe a real client. One you've worked with before, and you're looking at a new house together, whatever, but potential ones too, because an audience generally in the theater is all new to you every night. But I'm getting at that energy. I bet you can feel that between in ways that are more profound because you're used to that. It's a part of the theater experience for you. So when you've got a couple or an individual or whatever, and your imaginations are locked together,
right?
And they're in that moment.
You're trying to figure out what they're looking for in their home. You're trying to sort of put yourself into their shoes and see, okay, what are their motivations?
And there's a whole bunch of nonverbal cues going on at that moment, and you're feeding off that, and they're seeing them from you and feeding off what you're delivering to them that way. So there's a lot of similarity there.
Yeah, there is.
Body language, facial gestures, whispering.
That word, off in a quiet corner.
The word butt.
Did he say butt loan again? See, now this may be a problem for you. Yeah. Now he's planted a seed there. It's,
I know.
Butt loan's going to end up.
Never forget it.
Back when
we're going to get it out.
Back when loan officers actually did flyers. Still, I used to have this flyer. It was called the butt loan flyer, and it was spelled with one T.
Sure,
because you only need one T. But I used to have more people chuckle about it. But when you talk about it and you explain like I did, then you go, hey, you get it.
Sure.
I really like this house, but and you hear that a lot, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, you hear it a lot. Well, there's some things you can't change in a property.
Right.
But if you really like the house and maybe you want different appliances or you want a different carpet or you want to paint a different color or something. The butt loan. Simple.
Right.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And now it's stuck in my head too.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody out there needs the butt loan.
Yeah, maybe I need some new appliances myself.
Oh my God, another one for BT.
Here we go. We've done a couple together along the way.
Yes, you should almost be paid off by now.
Well, I've done a couple of cycles through there, Tommy boy. I've had a couple of lean years along the way. Had to readjust a little bit. Robert, when Music Man's running through when?
August 30th.
All right, so we still got some time to see that bad boy and see it GuthrieTheater.org for more information. This has been a very interesting and very engaging edition of Mortgages and BS. Thanks for being here, man. I really appreciated the conversation.
I think it was almost educational.
Yeah, it really was.
This show's not. Well, I guess we are about. Okay.
Well, between
I'm kind of glamming it off here.
In the Mortgages and BS world with Tom Smith and yours truly, we have two of the great. Well, about 1 3/4 of the. Well, about
3/4.
About 3/4 of the greatest mind collectively that has ever inhabited this world. So,
and half of that is him, and half of that's me.
So we're glad you contributed more than your share to what happened here today.
I mean, people are going to look going, "Oh my God, they really talked about something serious." There
was some actual substantive material.
And we didn't get to talk about Greece and Jimmy Carter with cancer or any of that kind of stuff.
I know. We didn't even get into any recent FOMC meetings or anything like that. That's okay. We had a great guy in the studio with us. And thanks again, Rob Berdahl.
You bet. Thank you.
Good stuff on the Mortgage.
Nice meeting you. I really appreciate it.
Nice to meet you too.
Tom Smith, we will see you next week.
And now we know who A is. Got to go, guys.